Good morning, y'all. Hopefully you, your family and friends are happy and healthy today. Today is Monday. It's the beginning of the week. I really do mean hopefully you're happy and healthy. Sometimes we're in situations where it's hard to put in the work to be healthy mentally and physically, and sometimes it's hard to put in the work to create happiness. There's a lot of exterior and a lot of environmental things that can dictate your happiness sometimes, or your state of health, your mindset, your physical health. So you got to be careful. Today's video, I just winged this. Today's video, I'm going to talk about narcissistic behaviors, attitudes, and just narcissism in general. This is my opinion. My opinion might change tomorrow. This is just what I'm feeling. I think to a certain extent, depending on who you are or what you're at or what you've experienced or where you're at in your journey, that if you've already portrayed or shown narcissistic behavior, or someone has told you that you are a narcissist, maybe you should analyze that and ask yourself, does that benefit me? If someone is telling me I'm narcissistic, break it down. Not for them, but for yourself. And try to explain to yourself, why do I act that way? Why am I behaving this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why do I sound this way? And after you analyze that and break that down, maybe it's beneficial in some ways for you to be narcissistic. Maybe it's beneficial for you to upload a selfie. Maybe you've lost some weight. Maybe you got rid of some acne. Maybe you grew a rad beard. Maybe you tweezed your eyebrows. Maybe you got a nice tan because you laid out and got some vitamin D. And you're feeling good, you're feeling vibrant, so you want to take a selfie and you want to upload it to the internet. Just to make yourself feel good. And maybe get praise, maybe get nice compliments, nice sweet compliments. Maybe somebody will reach out to you and say, wow, you look beautiful. You're like, wow, you looking fine. So maybe that raises your happiness. And when you're happy, maybe you can get yourself out of unhealthy environments. Now, I think some behaviors of narcissism can be too far, and this is just my opinion. If you're constantly maybe doing that, like if you're uploading, and it's really not even for me to say. I just know back in the day, I used to upload a lot of selfies. And it's when I was, extremely healthy, very, very healthy. When I was putting in the work, when I was running every day, when I was working out every day, doing the calisthenics, running in the fields with Buddy, hitting the weights, I was doing my SARMs, I was eating, I was finding out what works well for my meat vehicle. So I was really proud of my ripped abs and my ripped biceps and my quads and my jawline. And so, if I got a good selfie and the sun was right, I'd ninja flip my phone out and I'd upload it to the internet, and it made me feel good. And I was doing it a lot. On my old account, I was uploading selfies all the time, sometimes 2 or 3 a day. I don't really do that anymore, but I'm finding out, because I'm not in environments that I can control at the moment. Maybe sometimes that's good, because you have to self-analyze yourself, where you're at, why you say certain things, what it is that you're doing, who you're trying to impress. And I'm finding that after I leave a situation, a conversation, that I'm like, well, why did I say those things? Was I trying to impress somebody? Was my anxiety kicking in that I just wanted to break the silence? And so I think there's other levels of being narcissistic, meaning when you're constantly talking about yourself. I think self-help is key to success, mentally and physically. But, I did a video like a week ago. It's like, I've been talking about myself for the last 3 years online. When you're just like, I, me, I. When nobody asked you these questions, but you're still talking about yourself. And so that's something I'm working on. And we all have passions and we all get excited, and maybe we want to spread the love and share, inspire, and support. And so maybe something that you're sharing, somebody might label as being narcissistic, or you have narcissistic behavior. You know, you're sounding narcissistic. Well, maybe you're just so excited that you're just spreading the love, you know? And so I think it really doesn't matter if somebody calls you narcissistic or you're being you know, you have narcissism behaviors. You know, maybe take it as a compliment. But, you know, maybe the third time somebody says that, you might want to ninja flip into some meditation and say, well, why? Maybe it triggered them. Maybe a selfie triggered them. Maybe you told, you know, a story about yourself, and maybe it made them feel bad. You know, maybe they made them feel good, but that's on them. And so, you know, I think you just be you. Be you. And if you think you're being narcissistic, maybe reanalyze and maybe kick it up a notch or kick it down a notch. Figure out what works for you, you know, because when you're in certain environments, you know, you're in person. Online is easy. I'm looking at a lens, you know. My videos have had, you know, millions and millions of views. You know, if I put myself, or I'm in a situation in a room with a third, fourth, fifth person, my anxiety kicks in, and I realize that the topics that I talk about, the way that I deliver what I'm speaking about, and just my behaviors in general changes. Maybe just a little bit, but more than often it changes. Here on the lens, I can just be me and just, you know, open up my heart, open up my layers, and just talk freely. But when I get in the room with more than one person, you know, what I'm sharing or what I think I'm sharing, it changes. And so I'm evaluating that. So yeah, I say embrace, you know, your narcissistic behaviors if it makes you feel good, if you feel like it's making you a better person. And for me, what's helped for me, and I'm trying to do this every day because I'm in, you know, environments that I can't control at the moment, is that I'm limiting myself in person what it is that I share, even when I'm asked, but not with the counselors, not with the medical staff, not with the nurses, not with the people that, you know, are quote unquote professionals that are trying to help me. That I'm not limiting on what I share on my personal experience and where I'm at and what I'm feeling and that type of stuff. But other people that are there, other shipmates, other veterans, other homeless people, I'm starting to learn that a lot of times people don't want to hear your caca. People don't want to hear your shit. People don't want to hear your personal experience. People don't want to hear about your day. They might, but what I'm finding out, just in the environments that I'm in, it's a lot less. It's a lot less than maybe if you're in a controlled yoga retreat. Everybody's there, they're sharing. Or if you're at a sporting event, everybody's there, they're rooting on their team. You know, whatever it is, if it's a social event. But if you're in an environment where not everybody chooses to be there, and, you know, just like, you know, a homeless shelter, not everybody wants to be there. Hardly anybody wants to be there. You know, some people want to be there. It's like you want to be there, but you don't want to be there. You want to be there because you don't want to live on the streets, but you want to be there, you know, to get support and get a cot and get a roof over your head and get food. You know, and a lot of people are sharing their stories, especially the vets. You know, they're sharing their stories, and I've been there for 3 days, and I've probably heard, you know, the same ninja story from the same person at least a dozen times, you know? And so for me, it's best that I keep to myself in those environments unless someone asks me a specific question. It could be about myself. Why am I here? What got me here? Hey man, you know, do you know anything about the bus stop? What time is there? Then I feel like I can be of service. But for me, what I'm working on is just really just starting talking about myself. It makes me want to throw up, you know, because I've done over 2,000 videos on Facebook and YouTube, and it's like I'm tired of hearing myself online, like even my voice right now. But then when I review it and do the comment sections, and especially when I do it on YouTube and I gotta edit it, that's even more painstaking listening to myself when you have to edit it. So in person, I catch myself talking about myself, and to be honest, I'm actually catching myself being more, I don't know what the word is, boastful, or maybe, you know, I want things to work out for me. So maybe I'm making things more rosier than what they are. So in that way, I'm sprinkling those little narcissistic sprinkles and flavors on a story that really nobody asked for, and really just to hear myself talk. And so that's why, you know, I think narcissistic behaviors or narcissism in general is positive and it's negative. It's both. So, you know, I don't think it's completely negative. You know, a lot of people, especially in the younger generation, you know, they have a lot more narcissistic behaviors on a day-to-day basis than maybe a person 10, 20 years ago. And that's just because of, you know, technology and social media. And so I guess just today, I just wanted to share that with you. And, you know, I know you didn't ask me, but I wanted to share it with you. And I know you didn't ask me this, or maybe you did in the comment section, but I would just say, whatever makes you feel good, if it's not hurting someone, actually, let me rephrase that. Whatever you're doing, as long as it's not hurting yourself, number one, and as long as it's not hurting anybody else, number two, and it makes you feel good, you think it makes you a better person, you think it makes you be a better servant to humankind, and it helps you harvest that self-love, do it, no matter what it is. Because if it's not hurting you or anybody else, and it's making you a better person, and it's allowing you to harvest self-love, just do it. Even if there's a label attached to it, like narcissism, or whatever it is, if there's a label attached to it, but it qualifies for those 4 things, just do it, and don't explain yourself. Don't explain yourself. I think explaining yourself is a waste of time, you know, unless you're having a hard time and you need help, you know, then explaining yourself to, you know, people that are at where you want to be, or people that have, you know, a timeline of history of helping others with the help that you need. Other than that, I don't think it's healthy to explain yourself. You know, it's like, I want to give 3 people a thank you. Barbara, thank you. Thank you for sending me the messages. Carol, thank you for sending me the message. And good old Carl, thank you for the love and support. I'm gonna leave it at that. I didn't plan this video. Didn't really know what it is that I was going to say. And again, hopefully you all are happy and healthy. I did wanted to say one more thing, and it had to do in line with explaining yourself, and excuses, but it's not pulling up. I really wish I had it. Maybe I'll take a second and think about it, because it was something that I wanted to mention, even though you all didn't ask me. You know what I'm saying? That's that whole narcissism, like, even if you didn't ask me, but I wanted to share this with you. What was it? It was, I'll share it on the next video. Hi, Jessica. Hello, Danny. So, I got a big day today. I know you didn't ask, but I'm gonna share it right here because I'm talking to a lens, and this is what this group is for. Let's ninja flip and pivot into that. So I think a lot of the things that I just spoke about, that's why this group is here. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all can do what I just did. You know what I mean? There wasn't a professional in front of me. We're all humans. We all have our own experiences. We can comment, we can send messages, we can give praise, we can critique in a loving way. We can offer, supportive criticism. We can offer, our opinions. And so that's why this group, I think, is the most powerful thing in the world. And if you all are confused what this group is, send me a message and I'll explain it to you in detail, and I'll send you a copy and paste so you can read it. Copy and paste help me, because I don't mind explaining things. Remember, y'all, I have dyslexic and I have a speech impediment and I have anxiety, and I have public speaking anxiety. So this is very healthy for me. But if you're confused on what this group is about, message me and I'll let you know. I'm gonna shoot some hoops right now. I'm gonna go eat chow at 8 o'clock. I have not met my case manager yet. It was Friday when I checked in. She ninja flipped into the weekend, so I'm very lucky and grateful that I got in for these last 3 days. It's a great learning experience. So I'm gonna hopefully get to sit down and have a conversation with my case manager at 10 a.m. today. And my goal is to share with her, what's going on with me. And I've learned so much, and I'm gonna do so many videos about certain topics, elongated videos about individual topics. A few of them is about VA HUD living. Another one is about transitional living. Another one is about disability benefits. And so I have learned a lot about things that I believe a lot of veterans do not know, because they believe it is a sign of weakness, the ego is in the way, and they just feel embarrassed to use the benefits that they've already, lost their blood, sweat, and tears, or marriages, or livelihoods, or their JOBs. And so there are benefits out there. My goal, my short-term goal, is to do what I just told you all and shared with you, and to get over to transitional housing as quickly as possible. Those are more of like apartment-style living. You have a roommate, but you have a full kitchenette, a large kitchen, your own internet, your own refrigerator. You don't have to check in, and it's much better. And then from there, HUD housing, and I can live in HUD housing for the rest of my life, y'all, which is amazing. And I'm gonna do some videos about that in the near future. So thank you so much for spending this time with me and listening to me talk about myself. I don't think it's in a negative way for me at this moment to share what I just shared with you all, because I'm gonna read the comments and I'm going to learn from you all. So embrace narcissism, certain aspects of it, certain layers of it, if it's in tiny doses, if it's in large doses, as long as you can analyze it and sit with it and say, is it helping you in the moment? If it is, great. If it's not, maybe you should try to change some of those behaviors and see if something else will work for you. Thank you so much for joining me, y'all. I love you. Keep it raw. Stay rad. What? Bye.